Hey bitches and bros and non-binary hoes, it's me, your boy, Mariella here, showing you Tuxedo fold, alright? This is my favorite fold, but it is an enemy of many, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's get into it. As always, make sure that you got your smooth seams down and your ugly bits up, okay? Always make sure to feel for them if you don't know. This one is kind of common with the satin ones, so just make sure with the satin ones you're doing your satin side up, your satin side down, and your unsatin side up, okay? Now, as always, also, these napkins are never perfectly square, so don't be trying to make it even. It's just not gonna happen because that's how they were made. Same with the warehouse napkins. Even worse, actually. Okay? Let's get into it. Now, first things first is we are going to start by laying our napkin into a square. Air quotes. And we're going to start by from the bottom, just folding it in half hot dog, and then folding in half hamburger. I usually do left to right. Okay? Because the important thing to know is that you want to make sure throughout this part of the fold that you have your smooth side in your left side and your seam side on your right side, okay? So now, we got these two flaps here, okay? These are two that we're gonna work with. So our first flap, we are going to just tuck it in itself, kind of like this. So you should have kind of like a triangle. And then you're gonna take this other flap and you're just gonna tuck it in the one we already tucked in, but you don't want to do it all the way. You kind of want it halfway. You want like a good, at least like an inch or so, like exposed, because that's part of the tuxedo like look. All right. And so, like I mentioned, we had our left is our smooth side and our right side is our seam side. And so what I do is I'm gonna pick it up, because we're gonna flip it, but I flip it going this way, all right, like this. So now we should have our left side be the seam side and our right side be the smooth side, okay? So now you're gonna take your right side and you're gonna fold it a third of the way. And then just something to note, this is a pocket here from the fold that we did. So you're gonna take your left side and you're gonna fold it over the right, and then the corner of this is gonna go in the pocket of the right side. All right, this is how we're gonna hold the tuxedo fold, okay? And obviously just flip to the front, and that's what it should look like, okay? And like I mentioned, like they're not perfectly squared, so it might look a little off, but overall you want something like this. You want at least a good amount for that tuxedo. And preferably you want to make sure like your end, like your little corners are like smooth. Sometimes these little bits kind of show it, but you really want to make sure it looks smooth like this. And this is just a bad example here. So obviously our seams are done incorrectly, and then first of all, this is going the complete opposite direction. You want to make sure that this is always going the same direction, okay? This is the default direction. This is not. And then obviously this is what happens when you don't make, the tucking in like as thick. It kind of looks a little thin. You want to make sure trying to make it thicker, that way like it looks good when you're putting like the silverware in it. But yeah, this is pretty much tuxedo fold. It gets a little tricky with time, but you just keep watching, keep learning, all right? Anyway, deuces.